We had a massive up. A massive up. My fault entirely. Number one, I think it's always good to make everything your fault. It's your business, it's your shit. Everything's your fault always. Accountability, right? But this was actually my fault. I f***ed up. We set up the email campaigns to go out after one day, after a certain amount of days, basically. And it was, I don't know, 10 different campaigns for 10 different day periods, right? So like, whatever, day 5, day 8, whatever the day is. And for whatever reason, it sent all of them all at once at the same time. 80,000 emails go out at one time. Of course, our domain got blocked. Our SMTP provider decided to close our account. It was just a shit show. And now we have 80,000 people who just got hit with an email. Actually, probably fewer. No, it's like 17,000 people who got like 4 emails each or whatever. And it f***ed us. And so now it's like you have all these people who already got your email. There's no way to go back. And it just, we spent so much money on this like list just for that to happen. It was real tough. So anyway, learn from your mistakes, I guess. But it was a costly mistake, an expensive mistake. I've been battling with that. And then on top of that, today we had 2 people start, two new hires. So I had to like onboard them and train them, but it got pushed back because I had to take care of this fire. And that's what it is. So that was what happened today. Today was a interesting day, to say the least. So yeah, that's where we're at. It has been a while since I recorded, probably like 3 weeks or so, which is a while because I used to record like all the time. But now, I'm just, anyway, getting back into it. I've been just really locked in the last month. Like the last 3 weeks, I've just been focused on business and family. I haven't really recorded. But one thing that I've been really focused on as well that I haven't really talked about is spirituality. I've always been really, really spiritual. Like since I was younger, I can think back to, I don't know, high school. And I've just sort of refined it as time has gone on. Anyway, for the last month, I've just been really locked in on realigning myself. And kind of like the gym or a habit that you try to create, you sometimes fall off. And so that was kind of the same with meditation. For the last few months, I've been way off, like barely meditating, mainly because I just, moved. Honestly, there's no excuse, but there's just life circumstances that have made me meditate. I don't know. And also meditation is one of those things that's really, really good for you. But there's other things that are maybe release more dopamine that you want to do in the moment more, like scroll on your phone. And so, it's one of those things that you just got to do. And once you do it, you feel way better after, like the cold plunge, for example. But anyway, what the main thing is that I want to talk about is kind of a few like updates in the business. We're finally, after a lot of trial and error, getting right what's working. We have still have our team in the Philippines. We have 2 people we've hired in the US. We're looking to bring a 3rd one on to be a closer. Right now, I'm the only one closing. So those are updates with the business. One thing that's really interesting has been getting down tracking. And like in my head, I have this idea, like tracking of everything, tracking of marketing spend, tracking of conversion rate, cost per acquisition, cost per lead, for each of our different lead sources. We don't just have one. And so in my head, I want this like elaborate dashboard with all this readily available. And so my mind goes there, but I've had to learn to dumb it down think about it as the most simple way first to create this. How can I create this in the dumbest way possible? If that's writing on paper, like writing down this number of leads were received, this was the cost for the leads, right? Like that's the most simple way to do it versus creating Excel sheets and all this stuff and trying to figure out how you're gonna do that. It takes so much time. So I've had to work on that. And whenever I don't know how to do something, A, I ask ChatGPT, or B, I just find out what is the simplest way to get started. And then from there, you kind of build on making it more elaborate. And the other thing I've been mastering, which my girlfriend's been really hard on me, like big on me getting this and reminding me, is the art of like delegating. We have an admin that we work with. She's super good. She works for us in the Philippines. And she's super good at a lot of things. And I have this thing where I don't like to let go. Like I don't like to trust people to do what I think I can do, and I have a vision for what I want to do, and it's just about letting go and letting this person take care of it, and I just haven't been good at that. So I've been getting a lot better at just saying, hey, look, this is what I need, and then from there we work on it. Like if I don't like it, then let's work on it, right? So that's something that I've been focused on. And from a spiritual sense, honestly, this is like people that, it's like reading the Bible if you're a Christian. you never really stop. You read, and then you take a verse, and you analyze the verse, and on, and then you do that your whole life for the whole Bible, right? And you're constantly just refining and refining and refining, like whatever it is that you believe. And so I've been sort of doing that. I'm not Christian, but I've been doing that with my spirituality. And there's one person in particular I've been watching on YouTube, and it's really like opened my eyes and honestly wanted me to get a lot more into my spirituality and reading books about it. I don't have the time to read these books right now, but I'd like to eventually. But there's one thing that has particularly just like stood out for me, and it's really changed a lot of things like in my life. And this is over the last few weeks only. And I've always known this, and we always really know what we already know. People tell us stuff that we've already heard a million times, but sometimes you just need to hear it said a different way, and then it clicks. And so the number one thing that I think the best thing that I've learned or reminded myself over these last few weeks is remembering not to need anything. And so this guy, his name's Nero, by the way. He's elite. If you're into this, you gotta just watch him. But he talks about the secret frequency of not needing. And that's literally the one thing I've learned from, like I've watched a bunch of his stuff. That's my the stuff that I watch basically on YouTube. It's lately has been him or Alex Hormozy, but mainly him. Yeah, it's just so powerful. And I'm gonna close this because there's not really much else to say other than I've realized that how much things work for me when I don't really like have any sort of attachment to the end result. Like we want this certain goal to be achieved so badly, and I'm telling you, like I've always been the person to like really like nice things, and I've always had that at the back of my head. I mean, and I'm constantly thinking about it or like looking at pictures of things that I want or whatever. And what I've realized is that that's all good, and there's nothing wrong with liking nice things, but you put so much emphasis on the thing that you reinforce subconsciously your lack of the thing. And so all you do is you call more lack to yourself than you should be, really. And there's something amazing about just letting go. Like you want what you want, you make that intention known to the universe, and then you just let go. And you don't keep obsessing over it. And I'm a very obsessive person, so it's hard for me. So you keep like obsessing over it. You don't do that, you just let go. There's something crazy that happens when you don't need anything. Like even with work, like a client, I really want this deal to close. It's like you repel the client almost. I don't know how to explain it. It's like that girl that you're all over. She doesn't like, that's not what's gonna get you, the girl. Being all over her, or she can sense like the desperation, you know what I'm saying? With anything, like with everything in life. And I've noticed this like not only in business, in my relationship as well. And when you just let things be and you expect the best, but also are prepared for the worst, I mean, it's just crazy. It's like, I know deep down, all the best is gonna happen, but I'm not desperate for it, And I've also realized how this mindset shift has put me in a place where like, I'm not attached to material things. Like I'm not attached to anything that I have, material things that I have. Like I could lose it all and be fine, And I've not always been this way, and I've started to learn to be this way, and it's a great feeling, to be honest. But it doesn't mean I don't like these things. Like I still want all the things that I want, all the things I've saved on my Instagram, Yeah, and that's the biggest thing that I wanted to talk about is that simple sentence, the secret frequency of not needing. Or the frequency, we just call it the frequency of not needing, You don't need anything. Nero has this thing he says, I'm giving him credit because this is all him. Manifestation is shifting to a degree where you're no longer emotionally dependent on reality changing. The beauty about frequency and energy and all this kind of stuff is that no matter what religion you believe, it's all true. This is always going to be true. It's one constant of all religions is this. That's it. I'm out of storage on my camera, so we gotta get going.